Okay, one of my probably irritant things is when you're just in a small space and you got cables going everywhere. I have a ton of cables. And unfortunately on this thing, you only probably see the cables that are right there, but there's headphone cables, there's cables to run to a little cheap speaker, there's, just a ton of them. And I play bass and sometimes guitar, but primarily bass as of lately is what I have. And when I want to record just a quick something into the push 3, I almost said the SP, the push 3 or the computer, I need to have basically a cable that I have to connect from the base to the device, etc., etc. And so that's where this guy comes in. This is the Joyo JW06 5.8 gigahertz wireless guitar system. So I'm trying it out to see if it works. Now, it does do 48K, 24-bit high quality, sound. It also has more than 100 feet range indoors and less than 6 milliseconds latency with supposedly no lag or signal loss. I'm going to test it real quick for you just to show you and give you my thoughts on it. It's supposed to be up to 5 hours of playtime per charge. When you get it, it looks like this on the inside and this. Now, for some reason, when I got this thing was already on, which I was like, oh, that's terrible. There is a way if you sit and hold this, and you got to hold it. When I say hold it, you got to really hold it for a second here to where it'll eventually turn off. But it does take about 10 seconds or so to get it off. So that's I thought that was kind of a bummer. I thought they could have made it turn off a little bit quicker. That would have been nice. But let's talk about the more important things. What's the signal like? Does it record what I do, etc., etc.? All right, so this side is gonna be the receiver, and you'll see on the back it says receiver. Now you cannot bend this, so it is what it is. So you have to, just keep that in mind. I'm gonna plug it in here, turn it on. You'll see let me show you this before I do this. It turns blue when it's on and it blinks because it's looking for where's the receiver. Where's the transmitter? So here's the transmitter. So what you do is just put it there, turn it on, and you'll see this one blue. When they get a solid blue, then you're good. And you can hear the static coming from there. Now I'm going to plug this into my bass. It's right here, which you will not be able to see off camera. Here, I can probably show it to you. So I have it in bass. It's going to be noisy. These are single coil pickups, meaning, so you're going to hear that. But it's mostly noisy because of this speaker. This speaker sucks. If I'm being honest, when it comes to clean sound, it's not good. But just so you can see it and I'll show it to you. I'll turn the volume. Now what I did was I went in and did a two chord sequence here and threw a little simple drum pattern in, so it sounds like this without the bass. So I'm going to do a quick little bass line just to show you. All right, so now we're going to go to the bass, unmute it. And you see when I mute it, it gets less noisy, obviously. So if you want to know, I'm running a roar distortion on there as well as a glue compressor that's punching parallel. That's my typical workflow in Ableton when I'm using bass. Even when I use the like Trillion for bass, I'll use the same thing. And it's the same presets, no different. All right, so I'm just gonna press record. Give me a little count in and I'll just play the notes. All right, I'm just doing that quick. We'll crop it to 4 bars. That's solid. In my opinion, that's solid. Now I have a cable here. I could plug the cable in and show you. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to turn this one off. Put this back into the receiver. We'll turn this one off. I'm going to turn it off before I unplug it. Stick it in the receiver. When you stick it back, this is your meter showing you how much battery life is on this charger. And then these are this. So I'm gonna set that aside, and we're gonna grab a cable, and I'm gonna plug it in and just show you how the cable, that it's really not much different. I mean, it might be 6 milliseconds difference is so small. I don't think the average ear, unless you got a real something or another ear, can really tell that much of a difference in it. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that one, and let's record this again. Okay, there's the 4 bars. That popping you hear is from the speaker. There you go. So in my opinion, is the cable better? I will always say if you want closer to perfection, just stick with a cable. But if you really think that if you're recording an 8 bar or a 16 bar, or even like a 32 bar loop, or even a whole song that is that big of a difference, I really don't hear it. I don't think the average ear, and I'm probably going to say I'm the average ear, I don't think the average ear is hearing that. So yeah, so that's, and I don't mind a little bit of static in there, like, because I mean, we're talking about we're running distortion on it, so it's got a little, it's going to have some little bite, some little grit, saturation, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that if you're interested. Once again, this is the Joyo JW-06 wireless system. The book fell out. It's actually really nice, and I think it's a keeper for me. I think I'm going to give it a few days. I'm going to continue to try some stuff with it. And if you don't ever see it or hear about it again, then you'll know it probably wasn't a keeper for me. That's how you know if I kept something or not. Sometimes I'll tell you, but I mean, it just depends on the situation. All right. Hope all is well, and I'll see you on the next video. I'm out.